Hey everybody, this is Alicia again. I recorded my first YouTube video ever in my whole life a few days ago, and I wanted to just thank everybody for watching it. It was 20 minutes, and whether you watched just a couple minutes or the full video, I hope that it was able to kind of help you guys in some way just by learning a little bit about my story. I wanted to make my second video about the differences that I've seen between the lap band and the gastric sleeve. I'm sure as time progresses, I'll see more differences and make some more videos on that topic. But I'm 16 weeks out tomorrow, aka 4 months. I prefer 16 weeks, judging by the weeks rather than the months. Don't know why. I'm quirky. So we'll just say I'm 16 weeks out tomorrow. I've lost about 39 or 40 pounds, which is fine. It's kind of slow weight loss, but I didn't have that much to lose compared to others to begin with. That's one of the things about being a band to sleeve revision patient, is that your weight loss is typically slower because you've already shocked your body into adjusting to eating less food and eating certain kinds of foods and different foods than what you had before surgery. So that's why it's a little bit slower. But I'm happy with my progress, and I just kind of wanted to share some of the things that I've noticed. We'll kind of just start from the beginning, a quick overview of anatomy between the two. I'm sure you guys probably know this, but the lap band is an adjustable band, like a belt, that wraps around the top part of your stomach. It connects the band to your muscle wall. A port is actually sewn into your muscle wall. Mine was to the left of my belly button. And the port connects to the band to add or remove saline, depending on if you need your band tightened or loosened for your weight loss goals. So that's the band as far as that's concerned. Completely removable, does not adjust any part of your anatomy. Sleeve, on the other hand, how my surgeon first described it to me was that most of your stomach is cut away, leaving the rest of your stomach kind of in the shape of a long banana, which I think is a pretty good description. Pretty much they take away 80-ish% of your stomach and leave you just with a long, narrow tube. The opening is maybe the size of your thumb, depending on how big your hands are. And for me, a little bit more than 80% of my stomach was removed because I had scar tissue from the band. I think about 85% was removed, and I can pretty much hold between 3 to 4 ounces of food in my stomach at a time, a little bit more if it's liquids, and I take them in slowly. So that's the anatomy differences. One of the most notable things that I've noticed is my recovery time right after surgery. When I first had the band, I had my gallbladder removed at the same time. Took 2 weeks off work. I would have been fine to go back after 1 week, but I was just kind of sluggish. Since that was my first weight loss surgery, I was just kind of had really low energy. I could have worked, but it would have been very difficult. So I went ahead and took 2 weeks off. When I had the lap band revision, again, took 2 weeks off. Would have been okay to go back after one, but really felt like I needed to take that extra week just to kind of let my body rest and recover. Then fast forward to gastric sleeve. Well, that needed way more than 2 weeks off of work. And I didn't think that. I thought, oh, no problem, piece of cake. I've had surgery before. It'll take me a week and I'll be good. Well, not so much. After a week, I was still in a lot of pain. 2 weeks, still in a lot of pain. 3 weeks, pain. 4th week, I tried to go back to work. I was in so much pain the first day that I ended up taking a little bit of my liquid Vicodin pain medicine at lunchtime, and I ended up falling down the stairs at work, landing on my stomach, of course, and deciding to work from home the rest of the week. Thank goodness I have a job that affords me that luxury. So let's talk about the pain for a minute. After both surgeries, or all 3 surgeries really, I didn't take my pain medicine after the first week. My surgeon with the sleeve was fine for me taking it for, for several weeks until kind of the pain subsided. But I decided that I might get addicted to it because I have an addictive personality. And I decided to kind of shut that shit down and suck it up. Good or bad, no judgment if you don't do that, if you decide to take your pain medicine. But that's just what I did. Other than the time on the first day of the 4th week when I tried to go back to work and couldn't hang in there. So the pain that I had with the sleeve was kind of a sharp shooting pain that would just come out of nowhere, whether you're sitting still or moving. It would just appear, and it felt like someone was taking a knife that was on fire and repeatedly stabbing me. And as the knife would be stuck into my left side, dragging it. Very gross description, but how it felt. My surgeon kind of said that the pain was normal, but the pain that I was experiencing was probably intensified because, number one, it was my 3rd abdominal surgery. He had more scar tissue to cut through. Number 2, because of removing the pork from my stomach, that may have also it added to the scar tissue, but it was more invasive because of what was actually implanted in the muscle wall, and removing that and then stitching that up. So that's what's up according to my surgeon. Pain, bad, bad, bad. But I'm good now. After about 2.5 or 3 weeks, I felt more like a normal person. I exercised the whole time, walking my dog several times a day, made sure that I kept my energy up by trying to eat the right amount of protein. And that's something else with the sleeve that's different. You really have to watch your protein intake. You've got to watch your water intake or liquid intake more than I ever remember having to do with the band for whatever reason. And I got to tell you, after the sleeve, my energy level has just been dramatically different, much lower than with the band. And I did have blood work done recently. I have not gotten the results back yet from the surgeon's office. They want to just kind of make sure that I don't have any internal bleeding or any other cause for the lack of energy. But I have been getting my 60 grams of protein every day, regularly, if not more. Water, I don't do quite so good with liquids. I only get about 30 ounces a day, but that should not affect my energy, according to my surgeon's office. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But vitamin B12 shots is something that is common with gastric bypass. My surgeon doesn't recommend it for the sleeved patients because they say that they don't need it. So I have an appointment with my primary care physician on Friday, and I'm going to talk to her about it and see what she thinks. So the kind of being so tired you are late for work, the kind of tiredness that you are so exhausted at 2 o'clock you want to, if you're at work, leave work and take a nap. That's what I mean. Like, I can't function tired. Not, oh, I'm going to have caffeine, which we're not supposed to have with the sleeve, and just kind of suck it up. Just, I am exhausted. I can't function. So that is something that I've been battling with that I did not have to deal with the lap band. Hair loss. Hate it. My hair is long. I used to have short hair. I've been growing it out for years. It is falling out in clumps. I've been taking biotin since literally a week after surgery. As soon as I could swallow a pill, I started taking biotin. I did not have hair loss at all with the band. Didn't have it. Maybe some people did. I didn't have it. So, excuse me. So that sucks. Not used to that at all. Let me look at my list here about things that have just kind of shocked me and I was not used to or prepared for when I was revised. I think another difference is your body adapting to the change. As far as introducing new foods, the liquid stage, the pureed stage, the soft foods, and then the solids, for lapband, my surgeon let me progress to all of that, I would say within a few weeks. I was eating solid food and fine with it. Some people it takes longer. Everybody's body is different, but that was my story with it. It seems like I'm still having problems with some solid foods. Raw vegetables, carrots I have to chew really, really, really well. Raw broccoli, which I love, it just doesn't, no matter how much I chew it, it comes back up. And then there's a couple times that I've had it that I've vomited up blood, which is completely disgusting. And of course, the first time it happened, I waited a few more weeks and tried again. Not going to happen. So I just don't think raw broccoli is in the mix for me until much later on in my progression. So there's that, the difference in food. And I got to tell you, the band has like epic restriction. And if you're too tight, you can't even swallow water. I have not seen that from the sleeve from day one as far as not swallowing water, because with the band, that's unhealthy. That's a complication. That's a risk. You need to be able to take in water. Big deal if you can't. With the sleeve, it's lessened, but it's a consistent restriction, and that's really, really what I like about it. I cannot manipulate it like I could with the band. What I had learned to do with my lap band was eat whatever I wanted and then drink something, and it would force the food through. And literally the little tiny stomach opening that I had, it would feel like something was, and this is a pen, this is my illustration, feel like something was popping through. That was too, you know, it wasn't, there wasn't enough space for it to go through, so it was literally busting through, which is disgusting. And there could probably be some sexual references made from that, but completely not supposed to be taken that way. If there's any pervs watching this, that was a very non-sexy description, but if you take it that way, I'm okay with that. Whatever, you're good. Send me a message. We'll talk about it. We'll work through it. Anyway, so that's kind of how I learned to eat more with the band, which was bad, or eat things that I shouldn't eat. With the sleeve, I can't do that. If I don't want to mess up this surgery and sabotage myself. I've come too far, and I've got a whole life ahead of me where I'm going to maintain a healthy weight once I reach my goal. So I definitely don't want to mess anything up. But there's been times that I've had something stuck in my throat, and I thought, oh, I'll just take a sip of water. Well, that hurts. That hurts like hell. So it's easier to just throw up than try to force it down. I don't think I'll ever be able to eat and drink with the sleeve. And maybe some people can, but I don't even want to really try it. I just, not my thing. So the band had more restriction, but was more easily manipulated as well. And the sleeve is more constant with the restriction and just more consistent and less able to be manipulated. So that I really, really like about that, just the consistency. I don't have to relearn how to eat every time I get a fill or get an unfill. I don't have to see what makes me full and what doesn't. I'm still learning that with the sleeve, but again, I'm only 16 weeks out. So it'll come. I'll get there. I'll figure out what my comfort level is, truly, and just know when to stop. Another thing that I think is a little different with the sleeve, what I've noticed, is kind of the social eating experience. A lot of people asked me, not even a week out, I went and got soup out at a restaurant with my friends. It's how I roll. You know, I'm a very social person. So one of my friends had said, you know, it must be challenging to just order a little bit and not even be able to finish a whole cup of soup. And, you know, it must feel awkward. And I said, no, you know, it really doesn't, because I had the band for freaking 4 years, and what I do is just tell people I'm not that hungry. And sometimes servers will be confused, that you don't like the food or concerned. And, you know, that's what I tell them. Oh, I'm just not very hungry. I'd like to get the rest of this to go. It was very good. So that part, I didn't have that adjustment that some people that the sleeve is their first surgery have. I've kind of gotten used to that. But I really can't eat a lot, and I can't manipulate, like I just talked about a couple minutes ago. Can't manipulate my tool. So that's different. Drinking alcohol is way different. I could drink with the lap band and be okay. I mean, I was still a lightweight compared to what I previously was, but on one glass of wine, I will get so fucked up with the sleeve. I'm a cheap date, not just with food, but with alcohol too. And I've really had to relearn my limits. Completely different from the band to the sleeve. So that's what I got so far. My hair's falling out. Don't really have that much energy. Lost 40 pounds in 16 weeks. I like the restriction. I like the consistency. I actually kind of like getting drunk just on one drink. That I'm good with. The pain level has subsided. Of course, after the third-ish week, I was good. So that I'm okay with now. And I don't want you guys to think that the sleeve was a bad decision. I would take this over the lap band and the complications that I had any day of the week. I don't have to worry about having to have another surgery to revise the band that slipped because of vomiting or because it decided to slip or rupture my stomach or whatever. The biggest risk with the sleeve is leaks, which after about the first month or so, my surgeon said you really won't get a leak because your stomach has healed well enough that you probably will not develop a leak. Of course, ulcers and things like that you have to worry about just because it's your stomach, but there's really no increased risk that my surgeon has told me about from that and a relatively normal stomach. So that's my story. That's what I've noticed. Would I have the sleeve done again and the band removed? Absolutely, 100%. No doubt in my mind. I wish I would have done it the second surgery that I had when I had the band revised and re-sewn in place. It is what it is. I'm very, very happy with my decision, and if I could just get my energy level up, I know the hair loss will stop. It will. Especially if I start taking prenatal vitamins. No, I'm not pregnant, but taking that with the biotin I think will help. So I'm happy. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And now that I know kind of what to expect, it seems like it was easier, but thank goodness I'm not like 6 months or a year out, because it would seem easier than it was every single day. And I'm glad that I was able to capture this early enough on in my journey that maybe some of you can relate and kind of know what you may be signing up for, because I had no idea that it was going to be this different. But I like it. Love my sleeve. Love the new life that's ahead of me and the 50 pounds I have to lose. I know that it's going to come off quicker than I think, and I'm just excited. I'm a sleever. I'm Alicia Bander to sleever. Thank you for watching this again. It again became a 20-minute video. Was not thinking that it would be that long, but thank you. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch this. Bye-bye.